Hey, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Jester. My name is Junior. Today let's take a look at the Star Wars 3.75 vintage collection from the Kenobi series, Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is him being portrayed in the Kenobi series after Star Wars Episode 1, 2, and 3 in the middle before Episode 4. So very nice photograph of Ewan McGregor in Tatooine. Here's the back, basically saying the card back itself and the figure. A little blurb on what the whole thing is all about and all that stuff. And then of course we see the figure and all the accessories that comes with it. And with that, let me go ahead and open it up and I'll be right back. Alright, so this is what comes with a figure. A pair of goggles right here. An unlit lightsaber. A lightsaber that does have the sword in it, or the lighted sword on it, the figure in itself, and the soft goods cape. Let's go ahead and do a close-up in each one. So this is the pair of goggles, which I really like how they did this. So it seems like it's actually made out of transparent plastic. It's kind of thick transparent plastic, but you can kind of see through it. And then what they did was they painted the elements of it. So you see the silver on the rims, and then you see the brown for the strap. The detail is well done for such a small scale. I mean, just look at my fingernail and you can see how small this thing really is. And for this one, let's take a look at the lightsaber, the unlit one. It's kind of hard to hold it because it is so small, but the detail is there. And looking at this right now, I just realized this is actually backwards, right? Because this is supposed to be like this. And this is where the light comes out, as you can see with the lit saber on. For such a small item, there is a lot of paint detail on it. You have the silver, some sort of coppery part of the lightsaber, black, silver, black, and silver. And then this is just the lit up version. And this is one of the things I really do like in the vintage collections. They give you both, so you don't have to mess around pulling the sword out, you know. You can see the differences between the two, where this has the unlit one has a very thin neck over here, while this one's a little bit thicker. And let's do this head sculpt. I'm kind of disappointed. It is small, so I'll give him that excuse. But this looks like the actor from Star Trek, Christopher, the one that plays James Kirk, the new one, more than Ewan McGregor. I don't know why. I mean, it's got a lot of nice detail in it, and some paint application for something so small is well done. The eyes are nice and clear. They're not just gobs of color. Unlike the beard, which is just one big gob of color, the eyes are actually, you can see details of pupils and even an iris. I think I can even see an iris in there and some eyeliner going on. So it's okay. The detail in the clothing is well done. There's not a lot of paint distinction or paint application. It just seems to be plain plastic as far as I can see. But it's nicely detailed, and it does have this cloth that you can use to see, and he has some gloves over here for his hands. Let me take off this. here. So he's uh so here's the detail on this body, right? So I'm actually quite surprised what kind of detail we're getting here. It is almost like a Jedi's robes that Kenobi wore during as a Jedi. Very, very close to it. Again, very minimal on the paint application. I just don't see anything on this figure except maybe in the belt area. The belt area you see copper, little bits of gray or silver color, a different kind of brown to the belt. Yeah, that's most of the colors. Honestly, is just right there. There's nothing on the boots, nothing on the legs or anything like that. So let's take a look at the articulation in this one. So the vintage, there's really nothing on the head up and down. I mean, you can move it, but it'll just pop right back up. So I would say nothing on that. Side to side is good. The elbow, nicely, the material they chose on this, I guess, vest is soft enough so it's giving way from the rotation of the shoulder. The shoulder can go up like that. Does have the elbow articulation here. I'm always impressed that not only does it go 90, but even goes a little bit above 90. The hands are kind of, I don't even think there's any articulation on the hand except from the side to side. I could be wrong. We're just not seeing anything. Could be an up and down, but I'm not entirely sure because I don't get any up and down on this at all. I don't get any side to side, so it's just mostly a rotation side. And then for the waist, it's just got that cup going on, so you can twist it. Yes, movement on the front is nothing. I'm gonna say nothing on that. Nothing on the back. Is there any? Can you guys see if there's any movement on the side? Like maybe just enough to off center it. Yeah. So, so this is just one solid skirt piece. Same thing in the back. So it does prohibit the movement a little bit because the figure is so small that this is quite thick, so it's basically hindering this movement. Moving it out of the way, we do have the barbell joints on the hip and thigh, so it can technically go up to that to 90. It can kick out, and it's got a cut on the thigh, so that's good. And then of course the knee articulation is well on to 90. It has a rotation at the knee, and then for the ankle, goes up by that much, goes down by a lot, and you have the ankle swivel. Overall, I'm quite impressed by this figure. It's just something really throws me off on the head. I don't know. I think because of the scale, I'm thinking the eyebrows are painted way too thick for this one, for Ewan McGregor. I think the sculpt is there. It's just at this scale, it's really, really hard to do a good paint application on this one to amplify the likeness that's in there. And one of the reasons why I like that how the vintage collection gives you an unlit saber is that you can just put it like that if you want to. And let's see, how well does this pair of goggles actually go in there. It's soft rubber, so it's stretching quite a lot. So yes, you can put it on the top of his head quite naturally. You can, I think, let's see. Oh, okay, nice. So it's actually can actually go onto his head and it would look natural enough. Look at that. Here's the side view. Here's the front view. And you can kind of see the eyes out of those pair of goggles. But the way they have him is that this actually is resting on his neck. It's possible. Yes, there you go. But of course, the hair is just in the way. So it's basically just covering his neck. I'm just going to futz with it a little bit so I can have it hang a little bit lower as they have in the picture. I've gone ahead and put back the robe that he's got on. So in the picture, as we reference it, you can see how thin the robe is along the side, and that's really going to be hard to emulate with such a small figure. I think with my small figures, I'll put on the robe because I'm going to lose it if I take it out. But it doesn't add anything to the figure. The robe is just way too big and way too chunky. I'm gonna pull on it at the bottom, and what that will do is it will kind of make it stretch and thin it out, and that looks a little bit better. But yeah, man, that looks just like Chris Pine. It really does. And rather than Obi-Wan Kenobi, or like rather than Ewan McGregor, there's just something like the eyes. Yeah, which I can't unsee. But other than that, it's a good Jedi, Chris Pine. It's a good Jedi robe. This particular figure, I almost didn't get it. It's just, I went ahead and got it because it's a representation of Kenobi that we don't have yet. It's an older Kenobi. Before he became Ben Kenobi, he's still Obi-Wan, kind of, I think. And again, the portrait isn't really something that sings to me. So for me, the value for this one, I'm just going to say a 10. It pretty much delivers what you expected from the figure. Maybe I'll give it a 9, only because I've seen smaller head sculpts that I feel does a better job than what this one did. So I'll give it a 9. Like, for example, I still have Balin's skull here, and I think the sculpt they did on this figure is much better than this one, because this one, it doesn't tell me, oh, that looks like this and this. It just looks like the actor himself. But yeah, that's okay. Look at that. Balin's skull is actually way taller than Kenobi. I didn't know that. I wonder how accurate that is. Look at that. Wow. That is way taller. Let me look at, I still have Shin Hati over here. Okay, Shin Hati is slightly smaller than Kenobi. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, so I'm going to give this a 10 value with a base price of 10 equaling to $17 because I did pay full price on this one. The value would increase if I had not paid full price. I knew coming in that the head sculpt wasn't really catching Ewan McGregor. That's why I wasn't really too thrilled about it. But it's nice to have a representation of Obi-Wan Kenobi at this stage in his life. But yeah, that's it for my review of the Star Wars 3.75 Vintage Collection Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Kenobi series. It's a good figure. It could have been better. and we're paying at $17 in this one. So at $17 at 3.75, we do expect a little bit more. So yeah, it's a good figure to have. It's just it could have been better in the face sculpt. I don't mind that there's barely any kind of paint application on the body, on the figure, on the boots, on the legs. But I always say you need to, if you're going to concentrate your paint application on just one part of the body, do a good job on it and to make it stand out. And right now, yes, it's a small figure. It's 1/18 scale. I'm probably asking way too much, but I think they could have done better with this head sculpt in terms of paint application. But that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you guys again on my next review. Bye.